How's it going, everybody? This is huskiesghost once again bringing you a discussion video, and this time it's going to be a little different. I'm going to have a buddy of mine with me. Her name is Sna, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, what is up? It's your boy Snob back at it again with another Minecraft Let's Play. No, a discussion video. It's good.
Great, great. You pissed off two people at one sentence.
I try my best.
Yes, all the boys will be offended and all the Minecraft fans will be offended. Way to go. Okay. Alright, so anyways, this is going to be a discussion video for the Nintendo Switch. As many of you may have known, that a presentation was just gone by a couple days back, and I actually wanted to hold off for the treehouse as well, just in case any extra details popped up. Thankfully some did, so I'm happy I waited off. So, without anything else said and done, I guess we should go ahead and get right down to it. So, Snap, I want your thoughts on this. So, the Nintendo Switch and what you saw with the presentation, alongside with the review that happened a couple months back, what do you think of the system?
Man, I started crying at the first trailer. Oh no, that's not even an exaggeration. God, I'm so excited, my guy. It seems what I really liked was the recent presentation kind of mentioned how it was all brought together as different aspects of different generations of consoles, all bundled into one. And I love that. I really love that. They've even kept. I didn't think they'd keep motion sensors, even though like Just Dance was accidentally leaked at E3 last year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. It's got everything and all the little. The main gimmick is the fact you can take it on your TV and take it with you. And then there's so many little things added on top of that the developers can choose to use or not use, and it just makes me really excited. I think it's a really good console, and I would buy it on launch day if I had money to spare. I don't.
Didn't you didn't you tell me a little while ago that you had a pre-order set down for it, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think you're thinking of someone else. I mean, I pre-ordered Danganronpa. Maybe you're thinking of that.
Maybe, maybe. All right. Just like what you said, that's exactly the same reason why I'm excited. A lot of people are saying that the Nintendo Switch is something that the Wii U should have been. Do you agree with that?
Essentially, yeah. I know there was a lot of misconceptions with the second screen of the Wii U. People thought, hey, you'll be able to take this with you, and then we're really disappointed when you can't take it 6 feet away from the console without it disconnecting, which
Yeah,
is this.
yeah. I mean,
You
yeah.
can't even take it to the loo.
No, you can't. I mean, I even went through the same issue. Like, I wanted to take it with me to the kitchen from my bedroom for something, but once I go past maybe 5 feet away from the console, it shuts off on me. So that was pretty annoying. But
Mm.
I'm happy. I'm happy they're able to put this as a hybrid, which is the first time ever I think in console history where you could be able to play it on the TV and as well as take it with you, wherever you go. That's a pretty cool concept to it.
Yeah, it's really solid as well, I think. Just,
Hmm.
it's so simple, and it's great.
Yes, it is.
Gosh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's our thoughts on the Switch. So to the Switch itself, the Joy-Cons, that those will be pretty much our controllers of the Nintendo Switch. And when I first saw the Joy-Cons, I thought they were awfully very tiny, like very small. But at the same
Same.
time, yeah, but they seem very comfortable at the same time. What do you think about the Joy-Cons?
I have really small hands, so I'll be fine.
Okay.
um, but I think they're really cute because they're so small, but I can imagine people having trouble with the fact they are so small.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw in the treehouse event, I know that we'll probably talk about it later, but during the treehouse, there were people kind of gripping it with a claw grip. And I feel kind of bad that it's such a uncomfortable grip. But that's why we have other controller options, I guess.
Yes, we do have the Pro controller coming out with it as well, and plus you don't have to take the Joy Cons off. I mean, you could slap them on the tablet
Mm-hmm.
or keep them as a regular, controller with that whatever thing that they're connected to is. But I'm just surprised that they're able to make them so small and yet so detailed. Like you could actually hold two of them in one hand, and I guess they showed off like
Yeah.
it's gonna have like an HD rumble feature to it. That one still kind of confuses me because they're talking about like a glass with ice and
Glass of ice. Yeah.
yeah, and you could feel like how much water is being poured on there or something like that. I didn't quite get it, but at the same time, I think I'm getting where they're coming from.
I think HD Rumble is kind of like it's not a rumble pack just in the center, it's kind of in multiple directions. So you can feel more of a tilt to your right if you're tilting a glass of water to the right.
Hmm,
Things like that, I guess.
that could be it.
Feels
Yeah,
more like being weighty.
yeah.
It's really cool though. It got me excited, so
Well, it's a cool feature, that for video games. I mean, we do have virtual reality. Now we're having like Sony coming out with a HD uh, headset that's going to have like preferred,
mm.
like great quality audio, and then we're going to have this HD rumble stuff. I'm still waiting for something to be made where you can actually feel pain when you get hurt. That'd be
Oh
great.
god. Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Oh yes, it would be.
I,
So that's one thing about the Joy Cons. Another thing to talk about will be the buttons. Um, I know that both sides of the Joy-Con, you got the left Joy-Con and the right Joy-Con. I can tell that their button layouts are kind of different, but they'll work the same way.
mhm.
And I think they also show up like on the top of the Joy-Cons, like they have like their little L trigger and right trigger. Um,
Yeah.
so what do you think about that button layout? Because I know one button layout will have the A, X, Y, and the B button, and the other one's gonna have just the D pads on it. What do you think of that move? Like, do you think that's gonna get confusing?
Well, the thing is, I noticed while they were playing, what was it? It was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Hmm.
On the navigation, it didn't say A button forward, B button back. It said right button, down button. So I don't think it's going to get confusing if they keep, the symbols to something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and it's very reminiscent of a SNES controller, which is great, except the plus minus buttons aren't there. And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, it's a lot less than I thought though. Like for if you're using it as a singular controller, it's next to nothing.
Hmm.
But put
It's lit.
together, I guess.
Yeah. If to me, I will look at it as like a sideways Wii remote with triggers added to it.
Mm,
That's
yeah,
that's
that's a good way of thinking about it.
yeah, that's kind of the best way to look at it. All right. So where were okay the buttons. So some people were kind of thinking, with people with big hands and for the size of the Joy Cons. Do you think it would be a good idea if Nintendo could be able to make all controller options, optional and not like put any games out there where you have to require taking the Joy Cons out? Do you think that would be a good idea to just keep it optional?
Yeah, I think yeah, it should stay optional because it's also pretty limited in its buttons, so I don't see why a game would want you to have only, what was it, like 5 buttons, 7 buttons,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. Um, I think if anything's going to be mandatory, it's having both Joy-Cons. And if that's mandatory, then you can use anything you want.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be forced to be less, I think.
Mm-hmm. I did had a friend ask me this question one time about Splatoon 2. Uh, if we take that game with us on the go and we decide to take the Joy Cons out, do you think that might turn off the motion controls for the controls of Splatoon 2?
Well, if you want to play multiplayer while you're out and about, you've only got. Well, I guess if you're with multiple people, I don't think it would turn it off. Like, do you mean with multiple switches, or do you mean with a single switch?
I mean, with the single Switch, like you're playing Wi-Fi online with other players, but you want to take the
Mm.
Joy Cons out, but you still want to play with motion control. Do you think that will be something they'll work around with, or do you think that'll be something they have to automatically turn off?
I think it will be like maybe concentrated to one remote,
Hmm.
perhaps for aiming. So usually was it the R trigger that was to fire, or I can't remember. I haven't played Splatoon in ages, but whichever button you use to fire, that side will be used for the motion controls.
Yes.
I think that's how it would work. I think what Splatoon needs is customizable controls, because it didn't have that if I remember correctly.
Do online shooters really have customized? No, I think they do.
Do they?
I think they do. Yeah.
Man, I know you can invert the axes.
Yeah.
Axi?
Uh,
Who knows? I know that much because I had to invert the y-axis. I have to play like that because I'm some kind of moron.
I want to say that. But that does lead to the next topic, which is the switching feature, which is actually one of the big things about the Nintendo Switch is that you can be able to switch it between the TV
Mm-hmm.
and to the tablet on the go. As I mentioned, I think that's the first time ever that we've seen a home console able to do that.
Pretty
But
sure it is, yeah.
yeah. To me, that's a really cool thing. I'm happy they're doing that. I mean, it's like you could be able to take any game that you want, and just take it with you. It's kind of like a 3DS that could be able to play, a home console as well. Um,
Yeah.
but the one thing that does concern me about the Switch is also this other topic I got on here, which will be the battery life. They did say the battery life is going to be about 2.5 to 6 hours, depending on the game. Do you think that's something they really should probably improve on? Because
Wow.
the battery life has always been an issue with Nintendo. I think ever since since the Game Boy to me. But
The Game Boy had a great battery life, I
well,
thought.
yeah, the Game
Just
Boy had a great battery life, but once you started able to charge, I think the Game Boy Advance, yeah, okay, I was wrong. The Game Boy Advance SP, when it first was able to do the charging feature, I think they did pretty good. But once the DS and 3DS came, the battery life became, I guess, a step down.
I think the 3DS was the biggest one because it was like 4 hours with a graphics heavy 3D turned on game.
Hmm.
But up to 12 hours with DS games, which was pretty decent. I had power saving mode, of course, and all that. The thing is, with the Switch, it's a fucking horrible battery life,
Hmm.
but it's charged by USB,
Yes.
which means you've got like portable chargers that you can use. You probably have one for your phone that you can use for the Switch.
Hmm.
So that kind of mitigates that problem. You feel me?
Yeah. That usually will take care of most of the problems. I think what people are concerned about when it comes to that is probably maybe, for example, maybe road trips. Like if you're in the car and you're going to like a different area that's going to take a couple hours to get to, or I
Mm.
guess the bus, for example, they don't really have any charging outlets for anything for that kind of stuff. Um, I think that's where most of the concern is going for.
I mean, portable chargers are a thing where you just carry around a freaking giant battery and plug it in.
Actually, I did want to ask you that. Do you think they're actually going to do something for that for the Switch, or
I
maybe
don't
have
think
like
they're
a
gonna.
or have maybe like a replacement battery, like you could take the battery
Mm,
off the Switch and get like a better one in there?
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they'll just leave you to your third party devices for those.
Hmm.
I mean, they might for the extra money, but I don't really see it happening.
Didn't they already do that with the Wii U, or am I thinking of the 3DS?
With the Wii U, you just had the AC one that they did. The
Hmm.
3DS had the charger and also had the charging cradle.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think there was anything like portable charger wise, unless it was third party.
Yeah, I thought they did release some kind of better, like a better battery.
Hmm.
Where am I
Not,
thinking that from?
hmm. Not too sure about that, my guy.
I want to say it was the Wii U, but I could be wrong about that. But like I said, as they said, it could also last up to 6 hours, probably depending on the game. So I'm thinking if you're playing something such as Super Mario Odyssey or The Legend of Zelda, that will probably take up most of the 2.5 hours. But if you're playing
Yeah.
something a little more simple, like one of the classic virtual games, Virtual Boy, blah, 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 I can't even
Virtual
say it.
console.
Yeah, the Virtual Console. I can't believe I couldn't say that right. Yeah, something out of that could be the 6 hour lifespan of it probably. Um, like I was saying before, is that I know that the Switch, if you take it as a portable, is a very powerful portable to handle
It
the
is.
graphics, what's being presented for the game. Um, but I guess I could say that the 2 hour lifespan isn't too surprising. But at the same time, I kind of did expect maybe a longer lifespan, at least maybe the 3 to 4 hours.
You really hope that it'd have a longer lifespan. And
Hmm.
there's other disappointing things about the specs, like the fact it's only 32 gigs of storage, which is disappointing.
Oh boy, yeah. I was really upset to hear it's gonna be 32. I mean, we have. Well, I mean, not to diss on Nintendo because I love them so much,
Mm,
but we are living in 2017 now. We have the PlayStation 4 that's able to go to 1 TB, a gigabyte memory, and the
yeah.
Xbox One, I think their Scorpio's gonna have 1 TB. I don't
Jesus
remember.
Christ.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
like yeah, that's pretty much 1,000 gigabytes right there, and Nintendo are still going by 32. I can understand that being a reason maybe to keep the console cheap,
but
but
the thing is, a 64 gigabyte SD card is only £15 here.
mhm.
It's not that much more expensive.
No, it's really not. That was the one thing that actually killed the PlayStation Vita so much over here. You know how much it was to get additional memory for the PlayStation Vita
Oh
here in the
gosh, it
Americas?
was it was really pricey, wasn't it?
Yes.
I believe.
For a good SD card, it costs almost over $100.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was
Um,
terrible. So you really couldn't keep that much stuff on the Vita unless you were a very rich person that just didn't care burning your money for whatever. Um,
mm.
so I'm hoping, if Nintendo does release like extra memory, I hope they keep it cheap.
Well, actually, I think it takes SD cards to Switch, so
Yeah, SD cards, and I think also a USB port. So I think you got
probably.
USB in an SD. Yes.
So you can you can add like a terabyte hard drive if you wanted to, external hard drive, and just keep it running if you wanted to keep it at home, which would be pretty rad.
Yeah, it
Um,
would be. Yeah, it would be. Um, so the battery life, it's something that we'll probably just have to see how it goes down the road. I mean, that's just estimated battery life. I know sometimes when they estimate battery life, it's usually longer than what they say, or usually sometimes a little shorter. But I
hmm
guess I guess 2.5 hours is still something. I guess it's something to keep you busy for a little bit, as long as you use it, sparingly. So I
hmm
guess that won't be too much of an issue, unless you're like extremely, extremely bored. Um, but hopefully it won't become much of a problem for most people.
Fingers crossed.
So overall with the Switch, the use of it, so we got the Joy Cons, we got the buttons, the size, the switching, the battery life. Do you see yourself using this Nintendo Switch as much as any other console probably, or do you think it's going to slow down just like the Wii U did?
Well, I think they said they've got about 80 games in development from about 50 different companies,
Hmm.
and what we've seen so far is really promising. I want to buy. I've not been this excited over a Mario game in a very long time.
Me too, me too. My
God.
most favorite Mario game. I mean, a lot of people could disagree with me on this, but my most favorite would be Super Mario Sunshine.
A fun tropical land.
Yes, that's the only video game I've ever played that actually wished the tropical island was actually real,
Oh
because
wow.
it just looked so relaxing and like I wanted to be there.
I mean, fair enough. Isle Delfino is a pretty rad place, my guy.
Yes, it is. You know what? I'm still hoping. Please, for the love of God, Miyamoto, please give us like an HD or just a port of Sunshine. I would love to play that game again.
That's the thing. Do you think that they're gonna have GameCube games in like a virtual console?
You know what? They could. But we'll go ahead and get back to that here soon.
All right, fair.
Yeah, yeah. I do want to move on to the features of the Nintendo Switch now, and the biggest one that got a lot of people talking as of right now is the paid online service. When I heard that they were gonna do this, I was disappointed at first. Like I was like, no, because Nintendo was always known to try to keep their online service free. But
Hmm.
after letting set in for a couple of hours of disappointment and tears, um,
Okay.
it also makes sense to me because Nintendo's online was never meant to be, well, not, I guess I can't say meant to be, but it was never known to be the best online because it still had its issues, especially on the Wii U. They say that the Wii U's online was going to be a lot more better, when in reality it still had its lagging issues and its connectivity issues. Overall, the online for the Wii U was not any better as it was for the Wii. It was a bit of an improvement, but it was almost the same thing as well. And people are saying paying for the online service can actually help them improve their online as well, and that I can agree with. That I don't mind at all. I don't mind pitching some money in to help Nintendo with their online service. But
Hmm.
what gets me the most is what it comes with when you do pay for their online service, just like the Xbox membership in the PlayStation Plus. If you do pay for their online service, you get you get deals on your digital games, and you get like a free game here and there. The one bite that I do not like at all is the free games that Nintendo's going to give you, because I'm hearing that they are going to give you nothing like brand new, but they're going to give you classics for free for paying for the online service. And I don't know if I can be able to like the idea of getting Super Mario Brothers for the NES for free while I pay $50 for a year subscription for Nintendo.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Ambassador program that was for the
Yeah,
3DS, where they just gave you a bunch of games. Some of those still never came out on Virtual Console.
that
They
was the
just, they
point
just,
that was the point of it, I think, because I know the 10 NES games on the 3DS were planned to be on online. I mean, on the eShop later on down the road. But I think it was the Game Boy Advance games that were supposed to make them kind of special.
oh yeah, because there was like the Minish Cap and stuff.
Yes,
I don't think Minish Cap got released. It's a good game though. It's a good game.
yeah, it was. But I get what you're saying, but it would be better if they just kind of give you new games for the free section. I mean, like maybe not from the start, but a game that's probably about a year or two old wouldn't it be a good idea to just put those as free games and not just keep up with the classics?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if we got not like brand new releases, but slightly newer releases that had maybe come out maybe a year ago. I mean, the entire idea of a paid subscription, like you said, I don't mind it because it's giving money to Nintendo, and I think the fact that if it's a paid subscription, it will drive off some people from purchasing it because they know their internet's bad, which then, leads itself to more stable games.
Yes.
Um, I don't know. I'm still kind of bitter about it, but I like you said, I understand why it's done, and Nintendo didn't make much money off the Wii U, and they kind of need to make that back as well as make money for their servers.
Hmm.
So, it's fine. I probably will pay for it when I finally get a Switch, and I don't mind if we don't get any extra offers because Nintendo games are fun to play online. Smash Brothers is a ball, and
Hmm.
Mario Kart would be really fun online. Mario Kart's going to be a mess with the free online.
Ah,
God,
yes.
can you imagine?
Yes. And but I think the biggest online that people are going to be looking forward to is one for Mario Kart, but also Splatoon 2, because we know
Yeah,
this.
true.
Yeah, because we know Splatoon was pretty much Nintendo's Call of Duty. Um, that's all I can really say it was. But I know the online is going more towards Mario Kart and Splatoon. Um, but I just, for what they're offering for the online service, I really do hope it will be a little cheaper than $50, maybe $30 minimum. But if it's going to be a full $50, $60, then I guess it is what it is. But I do hope they can improve some choices with their online service, for the people that's paying for it, because it is quite a bit for not just for a year subscription, but that's almost like a full price game right there that you're paying for. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Yeah,
yeah, I hear that.
yeah. So is there anything else about the pay online you want to say before we move on?
Not really. Nothing off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. The next thing that we're going to talk about is that they mentioned that Miiverse will not be coming back for the Switch, and there will also be no Street Pass since it's also going to be a portable. The Street Pass I can understand because it's overall it's still the home console. It's not like anyone's going to shove this thing in their pocket if it's able to fit.
Yeah,
So Street
true.
Pass I can absolutely understand. Miiverse on the other hand, I know it's not wasn't really the best social thing that Nintendo has done. Thanks to the admins, I guess most part, but also the updates kind of made it kind of worse once in a
Yeah.
while as well. Um, Hold on one second.
Alright.
Okay. So with the lack of Miiverse, they're gonna take that away. But I'm also hearing rumors that they're gonna replace it with something better. But let's put that on. Let's just shove that away for the time being. But taking away Miiverse, do you think that's a good move on Nintendo's part, or do you think it should be replaced with something better?
Miiverse is hell. Let's just put it that way. Miiverse was really horribly looked after. If you looked, you would just see a lot of trash amongst
Mm,
some good art. Miiverse wasn't as well executed as it could have been, but it was cute for what it was. They
mm,
did say that they have a screen cap button on the what's it called? The Joy-Con now. So
yes.
you can take screenshots of your game and put them straight to social media. So I think the implication is there that they're not going to replace it and they're just going to let you post to Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, all those places instead. Which
Actually,
I think is a good
yeah,
move. Mhm.
you just reminded me about something, so I had to add it to the notes here. Um, I agree with you. Miiverse wasn't exactly what a lot of people expected. I'm pretty sure it happened to been something that not even Nintendo was expecting. I mean, Miiverse down the road kind of became more of a dating website now than a
God!
gaming community. That was pretty disturbing. Have you seen that video on YouTube about Alan and Nicole?
No?
No, you never seen a
What
video
do you.
about Alan and Nicole. You never seen that video.
I don't think I have. I don't
Oh
think I
my
want to.
oh my god, it was amazing. It's like nothing disturbing or anything, but it's hilarious. It just shows Miiverse in a nutshell. That's all I can really tell you. If you ever
God.
Yeah, if you ever do got a chance though, I would suggest you look that up.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was hilarious. Um, but I am kind of sad to see Miiverse go, but at the same time, I can actually understand why. Um, just thank God no more dick drawings on the Smash Brothers, for
Oh, God.
Miiverse, and no more Samus
Speaking
bikini.
of. Speaking of like Smash Miiverse, my favorite thing to come out of Miiverse, hands down, is that one picture of Jigglypuff that's captioned, "I have crippling depression." That's me.
Oh my God.
God.
Uh, Actually, that was one good thing about Miiverse. I gotta admit, were the memes that came out of it, especially for
Yeah.
Splatoon and Smash Brothers. Splatoon was, I know when Splatoon first came out, it was nothing but Squidward and SpongeBob memes.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
great. And then they
Yeah,
finally did that, what's it called? Splatfest. That was SpongeBob themed.
yeah. Sadly, I got to miss that one because I sold the Wii U by the time that came out.
Ah,
God,
tragic.
yeah. I would have been. I probably would have been Team SpongeBob, so I would have lost anyways. But thankfully for how long I had Splatoon though, every team that I picked on the Splatfest ended up winning, so I kind of had an undefeated
Nice.
streak. So I was happy about that. But it's sad to see Miiverse go, but I hope that they do add something to replace it, some kind of community add-on, whatever it is.
Probably just a way to link your social media accounts that already exist,
Uh, but
I'd
that's
hope.
that's boring. No, I don't want
That's
that.
boring, and kids can't have that. It's the thing as well. You want them for
Yeah,
children.
you gotta think of the children. Uh, but you
I
know,
mean, altogether, the Switch seems a bit less kid-oriented in that
mm,
sense, you know?
yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, like even the trailer, there were no kids in sight. There were
Hmm.
pretty old
Yeah, you're
teens
right.
to young adults. Yes, if you look at the trailer, there are no kids whatsoever. So,
Damn.
speaking of Miiverse and Street Pass, old apps that won't return, there are some possible apps that will be returning. Probably example Netflix, Hulu Plus, Amazon Prime. Um, do you think there's any good apps that you would like to see come back to the Switch, or maybe something brand new?
I mean, streaming apps are pretty cool in themselves, and I'm glad to see them come back in, full swing.
Hmm.
I wouldn't doubt if they were their release day,
Hmm.
because they would generate quite a bit of money that way, like
Yeah.
immediately.
Plus, it would be
Um,
pretty cool to watch Netflix on the go.
yeah, that's a really good point. That would be really radical. Like
Yeah,
if you could download videos off of Netflix to watch them offline,
that'd be cool.
like on your Switch, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Because of
that would
course,
be
if you're
cool.
gonna go outside, you might not have Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, I did mention on the video that I made my Nintendo Switch presentation predictions. I don't know if you I don't think you watched it, but I did mention on that video saying like it'd be kind of cool if Nintendo could be able to did something with the what Sony did with the PlayStation Vita, which was to add data on the
Mm,
portable device. Either if you had to pay for it or they give you like a limited amount or whatever. It'd be kind of cool that they would give the portable device data, so if you don't have any Wi-Fi near you, you could be able to use data for the time being.
that
Um,
would be pretty rad.
that would be pretty cool. But knowing that they didn't mention anything about data on the presentation, I would take a guess that the Switch probably doesn't have it. But
Yeah.
that would have been kind of cool to add on to it. Maybe down the road, maybe with an update or something. But do you think data would be something they should add to it, even if it's something you have to pay for?
I mean, it'd be pretty cool to have data and stuff, but if you're gonna take your Switch out to, I mean, apart from streaming and stuff, if you're gonna take your Switch out to play video games, you're probably gonna do local multiplayer, not online multiplayer, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you might. Oh, actually, data might be an idea if you have maybe 4 people locally to play Splatoon with. If you could
Mm,
all go online, go connect locally, and then go online to fight another team of 4. That would be pretty rad.
that would be pretty cool too. Yeah.
So you could, dream team squad it up, splat it all.
That'd be cool. Me and my three badass friends will take you guys down, even though we don't know you. That would be pretty cool. Um, all right. So and also they did share that they are going to have the share button, for the Switch, which is something I kind of wish they would have added on the Wii U, which they didn't. But I'm glad that they are with the Switch. Um,
Hmm.
they mentioned like was it on launch that they're going to have screenshots, but later on they're going to add an update to do video as well.
That's right,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. The only downside to that is that so far Nintendo is still very picky with YouTubers when they show videos of the Nintendo game they get flagged for it. Um, this
I
is
think that's
very.
gonna try and stop it though. They're gonna
You,
let loose a bit, I think.
you think they're going to let it loose probably?
Hmm. If you're gonna give them the option to record any game they want, you have to let loose, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. I was thinking that's a complete thing. Like they're thinking backwards with it. But if they're able to let go the whole YouTube thing, then that will help Nintendo quite a bit. Because I mean, you could ask a lot of indie developers that YouTube does help promote games.
It
I mean,
does.
there's no question about that. I mean, look at Finance at Freddy's. That game is phenomenal, and it started off on YouTube. Same thing for Minecraft and some other indie games out there. Um, so, if Nintendo could be able to drop the ball about the whole YouTube thing and let the share feature, be connected to a YouTube account, that would be completely awesome.
It could be a live streaming option in the future, perhaps.
What the?
You know, live stream off your Switch to YouTube or something. YouTube gaming.
Hmm.
Gosh, I'm
Uh,
getting a.
hold on one second. I need charge my headphones here.
It's alright.
It's beeping at me. So.
Oh dear.
All right, I'm back. Okay, so
Oh,
can you repeat what you're saying before I interrupted there?
not gonna lie, I.
All right, I'm back. Okay, so
Oh,
can you repeat what you're saying before I interrupted there?
not gonna lie, I totally lost my train of thought.
Okay. Okay, so we were talking about the YouTube. How cool it would have been, if they dropped the
Oh
ball
yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Um.
was like, if we could stream online, that would be really rad. Maybe if you integrate it with YouTube, you have a recording option. Live streaming options would be cool, but I don't
Yeah.
think the Switch has a mic built in.
Well, the Wii U did. I know that the Wii U did. I don't know about the Switch though. Um.
Yeah,
Even so, people will most likely use the headset anyways, for recording or voice chatting purposes.
very
Um,
true.
I know that some people are probably upset about the fact that there's probably no way to, stream your Switch onto like Twitch, for example. They never mentioned anything about that.
Yeah,
Maybe it will happen down the road. But I know some people are going to get turned off by that because I know that was a big thing with the PlayStation 4 is that you could be able to connect your account with the Twitch account and just stream
yeah,
games as long as you want.
that was pretty rad.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hop onto the games themselves.
Oh boy.
This is the exciting part. All right, so first off, I do want to okay, the games. First off, I don't have it listed here, but I'm gonna go ahead and do so right now. Um, okay, so as you mentioned before, you asked what I think about Nintendo probably bringing back, virtual console games, NES, SNES. Um, I know that those two will for sure come back. I know what didn't come back for the Wii U was Nintendo 64 games and GameCube games.
Yeah,
I'm hoping those will make a comeback as well for the Switch. I don't see why not. Especially GameCube games because I know GameCube games were a huge demand for the Wii U and it never happened. Um, for some odd reason, they gave us digital Wii games,
yeah,
but not,
just in case.
yeah, just in case, but they completely, opt out the GameCube section. I thought that was pretty disappointing. There's a the GameCube had a lot of games, that was worth playing. For me, if they ever did, I really do hope to see Sunshine and
Luigi's Mansion.
ah yes, you get it, yeah, yes, Luigi's Mansion as well. Those two were my most number one favorite games on the GameCube, alongside the Metroid Prime series. Um,
Pikmin.
Pikmin 2, yes, Pikmin and Pikmin 2. Um,
Let's see what
Shoot,
else.
there were quite a lot of good ones. Um, wasn't there a Wario game for
Wario
GameCube?
Land.
Wario
Was
Land,
it
yes.
Wario Land or Wario World?
It's one
One
of
or the other.
I don't know. It's Wario Nintendo. Let's call it that. Um, oh shoot, what else was there? Um, Smash Brothers Melee. I know a lot of
Of
people are gonna
course.
want to see Melee come back for that.
They bring
Um,
back 64, but they don't bring back Melee.
something's not right there. Damn it. Um, Yeah, all we know is that there's a lot of good games on the GameCube that would be great to see come back at the Virtual Console. Um, I know that those are going to be kind of a bit of an issue with the 32 gigabyte storage, but like we say, we could be able to expand that storage, no problem.
Hmm.
Um, That would be something that'd be cool to see for the online program paying for. Like they could
Yeah,
give
that
you
would be
some
good.
yeah give you some free GameCube games. That would be awesome. That alongside with 64 games. If they could do that, I probably won't have a problem with it.
I think
Um,
I have a small gripe, and it's that how are they gonna bind GameCube controls to the Joy Cons? Because
well,
off the top of my head, it's a bit different if I recall correctly.
yeah. Well, I don't know, because if you think about the control layout for the GameCube games and the Switch controller, it's almost identical in a way. Like, you have all the buttons right there.
Oh yeah, now I'm looking at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna do fine.
I think it will do fine for sure for that. But I do hope those will come back. Unless I know some people are asking for HD versions of Super Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion, which would be kind of cool. But
I think they saved the HD remakes for Zelda.
yeah, yeah, like Sunshine, I wouldn't mind for an HD remake, but Luigi's Mansion, I think keep it the way it was because just the way it looks right now looks very gloomy and very dark as fuck. And that's what I liked about Luigi's Mansion was that when I was a little kid, when I played Luigi's Mansion, it scared the living shit out of me. Um,
It's great.
it was, yes, and I think just the way it is right now, I think for nostalgia's sake, I would say keep Luigi's Mansion the way it is, just port it over to the Virtual Console.
Mm.
But if they do want to make something about Luigi's Mansion, I guess just make a sequel for it, Luigi's Mansion 3. And
A
if
threequel, more like.
a threequel, yes. If they do that though, the only gripe I had about Luigi's Mansion 2 was that it was just too colorful, too happy from the predecessor of it. Because Luigi's Mansion was very gloomy, pretty
Mm.
dark, and kind of scary at some senses. They completely threw that out the window with Luigi's Mansion 2, and that I do not really like too much.
What I
Because
didn't like was the kind of sorry to interrupt,
oh, I'm
but
sorry.
uh, it was the what's it called, like the episodic nature, I guess you could say. It was everything was step by step. You couldn't fully explore the mansion. Something
Mm,
would stop you from going to one of the mansions.
yeah.
Wasn't a big fan of that.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, Luigi's Mansion 1, I mean, it was all on one swing until you hit a boss fight, and then you go back to Professor Egad. But you still
Mm.
go back to the mansion, you're back where you began, at the very first level, and you will have your choice to explore the mansion while you go to new areas.
Yeah,
It was almost like the Resident Evil of Luigi's Mansion.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if you played Resident Evil, but
Not really,
not
but
really, yeah. Well, that's literally what I look at it as. But if they do make a third Luigi's Mansion, I hope they go back to the roots of the original. That would be a lot more better. So, Super Mario Odyssey.
I'm so excited.
No, I would tell you. I would tell you when I first saw that, like at the point where you didn't know what this game was. But I was starting to have flashbacks of Sonic Adventure because of that opening.
Oh my
I
god,
thought I
same.
thought I thought this was gonna be like a Sonic Adventure remake or something.
Holy shit.
But then Mario popped up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then you see Mario, the small Italian plumber, run around New York City. This was like so off-putting. I'm like, what the
He's
fuck am
so
I watching?
small.
He was so small. It was so unnatural. Like he returns. It's like you watch the movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie. He returns back home. He's like, what the fuck happened? It's like everyone's so
Yeah.
big and I'm so small. Well, this isn't right. But that got me out of nowhere. I never expected Mario to visit the real world,
Mhm.
but
I, gosh, I remember when I woke up because the presentation was at 4 a.m. my time, so I
yeah.
just slept through it. First message I got on Skype was my buddy saying, Sna, Sonic Adventure 3, Part 2, Mario Edition.
Oh, that's great. Oh man, the reactions to that was great. Even that one picture I sent you with Mario with a gun and Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my god, that was so good. New
Oh,
Donk City.
oh boy. But this is something I never expected for a Mario game. I think the New York City setting will probably be the hub world. Um,
Probably.
yeah, most likely, because I know Miyamoto said in an interview that he wanted to go back to the roots of Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. And no, looking at those two games, they had a hub world.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't see why not this one to be a hub world as well. But other than the New York City aspect, the levels, the other worlds that Mario visits, they look beautiful as ever.
Gosh, yeah. I really
God,
like the Dios de la Muerto kind of themed level. That was pretty cool.
mm,
The skeletons, they're just my friends. All of them are small, colorful friends. I love them.
yeah. You
Gosh.
know what? The one thing I really do look forward to, and this is just me being me, um, but every Mario game has its haunted levels with the booze. I'm really curious what the haunted level will be for Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, since there's so many new characters and kind of yeah, new
Yeah,
characters and not tribes. What's the word I'm looking for? Like new character designs being introduced, I guess.
yeah.
And it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna just be booze. It's gonna be maybe like Luigi's Mansion ghosts. That'd be kind
Oh,
of cool.
yeah. I, I I really do hope they go back to how the Haunted Mansion looked on Nintendo 64 with Super Mario 64. That level was
Mm,
so freaking scary. I mean,
the piano.
don't get me started with the piano, damn it. But even just the music for it, the music was so damn unsettling. I also added
Yeah,
it on my top 10 Halloween songs. The
it
Luigi.
deserves its place.
Yes, it does. So it'd be kind of cool to see something similar like that coming back for Odyssey, just as a like more of a throwback than anything else. But for what I saw, I'm really looking forward to it. And the new Mario Hat character,
Who
I don't
is he?
I don't know, but I do hope he adds some uniqueness to Mario as a character. You know, and probably some uh different gameplay design as well. But for the time
Mm,
being, it looks awesome. I'm glad to see a 3D Mario game return after Galaxy 2, which I know a lot of people loved the Super
3D
Mario.
World.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people love Super Mario Galaxy 2 and the Galaxy series, but I was really disappointed to hear that they were coming out with a sequel for Galaxy. I'm like, one Galaxy was enough. We went to a different Mario game.
I mean, Galaxy 2 was kind of just an expansion of unused ideas for Galaxy because
Yeah,
Galaxy did so well. And fair enough, it took 3 years to develop. So,
yeah,
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 here's more. Have more fun. Go,
yeah.
be free.
I mean, it's cool because we never really had a Mario sequel. I think until Galaxy 2, but
You're right, actually, yeah.
that was the only cool thing about it. I thought. But Galaxy 2, it was a cool game. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I love the fact they added Yoshi for it too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but it was a good game. But I kind of wanted something new, something different, and thankfully we got Odyssey. But this is also depressing because I just realized we never had a true 3D Mario game for the Wii U.
3D World, kind of. It was.
Kind of, but
What?
I don't know. I saw that more as a console version of the 3DS title.
Same, but it
Yeah,
was like I saw a full playthrough of it. It's much more than that because I've played through 3D Land. It's so much more than that,
yeah.
but I haven't actually played it for myself to
Oh,
really feel if it's more than that.
yeah,
You know?
I had 3D World. I've only completed maybe halfway through with it, and then I just
Mhm.
kind of got a little bored with it. Just something about it just didn't connect to me. I don't know why. It's just something about it just felt kind of off. But maybe
Um,
that's just me complaining. I don't know. But I'm glad to see a 3D Mario game return.
mhm. I saw the frigging what's it called? The body drop attack. The God, what do you call it? When he just charges forward on all fours and he just slides. That's really important to me.
You're
That's
not talking.
back.
You're not talking
The
about that.
dive.
Oh, the
Dive
dive.
attack. That's really important to me.
Yeah.
That's back. It's
As long
back,
as
my guy.
as long as you're not talking about that spin dash that Mario was trying to do there.
Mario is Sonic the Hedgehog, confirmed. First Mario run, now this.
You saw the way he did that somersault, right? That doesn't scream
Yeah.
Sonic for you. Oh boy.
I can't believe Sega's actually secretly developing Mario Odyssey.
Oh, it all makes sense now. Just wait the
Sonic
next.
2017 is developed by Nintendo, confirmed.
Just wait the next trailer. We'll see Sonic pop up waving his fingers. Okay. Moving on to Splatoon or Splatoon 2. Um, miss
Why
opp-
didn't they call it Splatoon?
I don't know. That's a missed opportunity. Everyone was saying that. Even I was saying that. But
Mhm.
it is what it is, I guess. But I
It is lame.
Splatoon. You can't really. Um, first off, I do want to say I did not expect Splatoon 2 so early. I thought this was going to be like an absolute port over with some new add-ons, like what they're doing with Mario Kart Deluxe.
Same.
Yeah, but this is a completely new game, and I really did not expect that. When you first saw the trailer, did you expected it to be Splatoon 2?
No, well, let me see. I actually watched them all post, so I saw all the titles. um,
I mean, other than being spoiled with it already for what it was, but
mhm.
just watching the video and though, like, if it was like your first time not knowing what it was at first, would you expected it to be like a sequel?
I thought it was I thought it was an expansion, and then it was like kind of darker and edgier. It was like, what was it? It was freaking Marie, quote unquote, in like fucking emo as shit, to put it lightly. And I was like, I don't recall this. It's like, oh, and there's the new hairstyles.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't seen that weapon before. Oh boy, howdy! And it kind of evolved from there to
Yeah.
quite excited.
Yeah. I think there were so many new things added that had to been a sequel. I don't know why I didn't expect that, but
Mhm.
I didn't. Also, Judd, he has like a new kitten now. Doing
Yeah, who is he?
yeah.
He's so soft
I,
and fluffy.
I know. I don't know who the hell he is, but it's so cute. It's adorable. I'll accept it.
I want to be friends with him. Can we discuss the fact the developer dabbed not once but twice?
Are you sure that's a dab? He's just trying to look like a two, and he just looks like a spaghetti.
Wait, was he trying to look like a two?
He was trying to look like a two. That's what he was
I thought
doing.
it was a dab.
No, it's not a dab. He was supposed to look like a two.
Oh my god.
That's why he did it every time he says Splatoon 2. He tries to do like a dabbing fail 2.
Damn.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do too. Yeah.
I mean, he was so into it. I could have sworn it was a dab. Damn, I've been fooled. Internet culture's ruined me.
Oh, yes, it has. Oh, God. Um, so I can see that they added some new stuff to Splatoon 2. They got like a dodging button now. You could be able to dodge and
Dodge is
somersault.
just for the dual pistols, if I
Is it
remember
just for
correctly.
is it just for the dual pistols?
Yeah, because I was watching the Treehouse afterwards, and I watched their Splatoon,
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah,
the
cause
dude
I
was talking and saying, yeah, if you fire with the dual pistols and then go for was it a jump or something, you'll
uh
do a dodge roll, and from then your dual pistols go into one reticle, so you can do more damage.
Oh, damn. Okay, here comes all the competitive people doing the dual pistols. Is for that reason.
Same.
I thought that was gonna be all. Like I didn't watch the Treehouse event yet. I didn't really watch anything from it, so I'm kind of clueless on that section of it. I thought it was gonna be for
Fair
everyone,
enough.
but yeah. But it's still cool. I could see that being a thing too, because the dual pistols look like a quick weapon to use.
Mm.
But no, I just want to see the Gatling gun return. That's my favorite weapon.
I think all the old weapons are going to come back because they had the Splattershot Junior in the Splatoon demo, and the only thing that I know is all new are the what are they called? The special moves. I forgot what they're actually called.
Hmm.
But the ones that you get after you ink enough turf.
Hmm.
So there was like a jetpack, and there was like giant lock-on missiles, which were really cool,
Yeah.
and all these kinds of things. So they're all brand new, and I quite like the look of them. Or the four that they showed off, at least.
Uh-huh. Oh boy. I also noticed on the trailer that I know that they're having like a new story mode to it.
Hmm.
I noticed that there's an inkling. He was like looking away, all dramatic, and had his hair flowing. You know, I don't know if you caught that.
I don't recall it.
Yeah, you know, like how like a character who's cool, he like looks away, they have like wind
Yeah, I
blowing, and
feel
their
it.
hair is all flowing and stuff. Yeah, they had a squid doing just that in the trailer. Um, so I'm thinking the story mode is going to be a little more. Just for that scene alone, this screams that this is going to be a bit more of a darker story, I guess.
Yeah,
But
if I recall right, at Treehouse they said it takes place 2 years after the first Splatoon. So, dun dun dun,
uh,
I guess. Everyone's like, Callie's fucking dead. Can't believe Callie died.
Callie's fucking dead. That's depressing. That would upset so many people on the fan base. I think it's
Well,
gonna.
you see, Marie won the Splatfest.
So the Splatfest is why she dies. That is
Holy shit, can
depressing.
you imagine?
Do you understand what you people have done? You chose the
Your
one to
actions!
die. Your actions have consequences, damn it. Great power comes with great responsibility. You fucked that up.
They killed her. They killed her. All
Oh,
of y'all killed her.
God.
I mean, metaphorically dead or actually dead in Miami. We don't know yet.
What if that Splatfest was secretly a execution? Like,
Oh
whoever
god.
lost had to die.
God!
Oh, jeez.
Brutality.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So, there's so much more we could talk about Splatoon, but we gotta move on. Um,
Damn.
yeah. I am surprised to see the return of Bomberman.
That was really cool and a really nice surprise.
Yeah, because when was the last time we had a Bomberman game? Was it? I know it was a long time ago.
I can't recall off the top of my head. I don't follow Bomberman that closely,
Yeah,
to be
me
honest.
either. I think the last Bomberman I've ever played was on the Game Boy Advance. There's a Game Boy
There.
Advance game with Bomberman on it. That was the last time I've ever played Bomberman. But I'm I'm surprised to see him return. Um, that Zelda though,
That's all though.
I
Let's move on immediately.
lot of people are talking about how surprised they are to hear full on voice acting this time.
They're British!
The
They're British! They're British! Zelda's British! Zelda's British! Oh, alas! She's
oh
British. I love her.
okay, you can calm down now. Um, I wonder. Link has to still be silent. He still has to be a side protagonist.
He probably is.
He doesn't know what to say other than hiya. Um, I'm surprised to hear people talking in this game though, but I think that is going to help, with the story a little bit. I guess it's showing from the trailer. This is like a very serious Zelda game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's so open and they like said during the first reveal, was it like, well, one of the gameplays they said you could head immediately to Ganon's tower and beat the game if you wanted to.
Hmm.
Um, but it seems there's so much. It's a bit more linear than that, I guess. A bit more story driven because it's got all this voice acting and stuff.
Hmm.
No, I don't think it's gonna let them go straight to Ganon.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I admittedly I never really was a fan of Zelda. Like I know it has its fan base and Zelda is pretty popular and a really good game, but it's a game that never really clicked onto me. It's just one of those games I try to get into. I'm just kind of like, you know. I'm gonna have a lot of people sign up for assassination for me. Now just saying that,
God,
but this other kind of interests me though. I think just for that alone, just it just looks pretty. It looks really good. Um, I don't know how well Zelda was about being story driven. Like, was it usually pretty story driven, or was it just kind of one of those natural games?
See, I've only really beaten about two Zeldas. One of those being Hyrule Warriors. um,
That doesn't count, damn it.
Shut. It counts in my heart. Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of story driven in that you're told, okay, you need to go here to do this, and then plot will tell you, okay, you need to go here to do this,
Mm.
then do go here to go this. But then if I recall correctly, like Link to the Past was pretty open about the order of dungeons you went to.
Uh-huh.
So was Link Between Worlds, which I still haven't beaten. I got it released like week and I still
Mm.
haven't beaten it. Link Between Worlds is good, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you do get some freedom in a Zelda game to choose which dungeons you want to go to, especially in the first game. I know that much.
Yeah.
Um, Recently, I it's not fully story driven. It's just kind of story driven.
Mm.
I think now, I think that's going against what I said before, where I said it's kind of story driven. But shh. I know Ocarina of Time was pretty linear
Yeah.
in terms of story to gameplay. I don't know how it's going to work out for Breath of the Wild. I mean, I said it might be. It's still very, very open. There's a lot of side things to do.
Yeah.
It's very easy to tell that because they said there was like 100 mini dungeons for you to go into,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
just I really do hope that it doesn't turn out to be what Metal Gear Solid 5 was. Um, because
which would be,
Like Metal Gear Solid was very heavy story driven. You know,
of
every
course,
game
yeah.
of the series was. But Metal Gear Solid 5, it was so big and it was being so praised because it's going to be the first open world Metal Gear game. But when the
Hmm.
game came out, the story was barely there, like hardly there at all. It probably had like maybe 2 to 3 serious moments to it, but that was it. And plus, the open world was actually very empty for what it was.
Damn.
Yeah, and that kind of upset some people. Like Metal Gear Solid 5 was a great game. I mean, it was a phenomenal game. I loved it. Um, but people were pretty upset that the open world was very empty and the story was very non-existent. Even though that they showed it on the trailers that it was like, hey, we got this big story. This is gonna be the biggest Metal Gear yet.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and that feels like they're doing the same thing with the Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So I'm hoping they can be able to deliver a good open world and a good story for Zelda and not replay a Metal Gear Solid 5 again.
Fingers crossed, my guy. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But it looks good. I just hope it's not going to be another repeat. Some people are kind of worried that The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was rushed a little bit to meet the release date of the Switch.
I I mean, it was originally in development for the Wii U for a very long
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
So
Or
I guess
maybe or maybe they decided the release date of Zelda first and then they decide, hey, let's go ahead and put the Switch on the same release date. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know.
perhaps,
Yeah,
perhaps.
that could be a good thing. Because I know having The Legend of Zelda as a launch title, day one with the Switch, I know that's going to be a good thing. That's going to help the Switch a little bit.
That's a big seller, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so, moving on to what we were talking about were the launch games. Am I the only one that's pretty disappointed with the launch lineup so far?
So we have, let me think, we've got Breath of the Wild, which is going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
We've got
One, two,
One
Switch.
Two Switch. That looks really fun, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I want to play that with my brothers, you know?
I want to play
It's a
that too,
family
but
game.
yeah, I want to play that too, but I'm a lonely person.
Damn.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
just, it
I
seems,
got friends I could play one two switch with, but it's something I'm not gonna be able to play every day. I guess I could say.
yeah. It feels, One Two Switch itself feels like something that should be pre-installed with the Switch.
Yeah.
Did they mention it being pre-installed with the Switch or anything?
Hold on.
Because I don't think they did, and that's
No,
a bit
no, they
disheartening.
yeah they didn't. Actually, it's gonna be a sold separately game.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
Yeah, it is. I Want to Switch was, it looks like a fun game. Same thing for Arms, but I know Arms will be coming out later on.
Hmm.
But I was really hoping for Nintendo Land 2, because Nintendo Land was really good and actually did a good job showing off what the Wii U was capable of and what, it was like a good tutorial for the system.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would have done a sequel for that for the same reason.
I mean, it's kind of that, but it's just not with the Nintendo IPs plastered over it. It's you and
Yeah,
your friends,
yeah,
which I think is okay.
yeah. I
I
mean,
I was really amused by the trailer.
yeah, I love the idea that, like what they were explaining on the trailer and the presentation is that you do not use the screen to play this game, but you use your opponent's eyes. It's just
Yeah.
who's going to make the first move first, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's cool. I like the idea of the game. It sounds really fun, but I
I
just
know people would probably argue you can do that by yourselves without using a console, but I
right.
think it's a bit more competitive with a console, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Plus the
something to
console.
mark you.
Yeah, and I think the console could be able to catch some things that your friends are not going to be able to, because
Yeah.
if you played it by yourself without a console, then you're going to have a big ring like, no, I shot first, no, I shot first, go to hell.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it's cool, but I was really hoping it would have been Nintendo Land 2 or something, because I know the Wii came out with Wii Sports that helped detail
Yeah.
the Nintendo Wii, and the Wii U came out with Nintendo Land that helped kind of showcase what the Wii U was able to do. I was really expecting something similar to the Switch, but they're not.
It's not
Because
coming out with the console, which is a big problem.
yeah, that too. There is no bundle coming out. There is no game coming with the Switch, unless maybe down the road they have Mario Kart 8 or maybe Splatoon 2, or if they ever announce Smash Brothers, probably Smash Brothers as well. Um, but
Mhm.
it is weird that they're not having a game to help present the Switch, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what Nintendo always has been doing since the Wii, because it's such a different console that they will have some game released to kind of help you get used to the console itself while still being fun. Um, I don't know that's just a weird absence on their part. But
Yeah.
other
For
than
sure.
that, yeah. But other than that, the launch window looks good. With Zelda and Mario and Splatoon 2, you got Sonic Project 2017, and
Was there any other launch titles that we missed, or was it just those two?
no, it's more than two, but the others are not really worth mentioning because they're that crappy, I guess I could say. Um,
Was Just Dance one of them?
Just Dance was one of them, yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I know that one will probably be popular with some of the Just Dance fans. But I think Zelda will be the biggest one. Um,
for
one
sure.
to one to Switch probably second best. That's
Well,
my
out of
prediction.
two.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple more coming out on day one, but they're not really worth mentioning. Um, but I think Zelda will be the best selling game, and probably One Two Switch will probably be the second best selling. Maybe Just Dance
Yeah,
being third, and whatever was after will probably be around the lower part of sales. But
probably.
yeah, but the launch window isn't too bad because, like I said, we have Mario coming, we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we got Splatoon 2. Reggie Fils-Aimé, he's also teasing Mother 3 and Metroid. He's
Yeah,
keeping,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah, he's keeping hopes alive for that. So I'm thinking maybe down the road we'll have some news about Mother 3 and probably Metroid Prime 4. That's a lot of people are waiting for.
Hmm.
Um, I think we're not going to get many more news about games for the Switch until probably E3, because once the Switch releases, there's only 3 months left until E3 happens.
Yeah, they gotta keep something as a surprise.
Right, right. I mean, that was the problem with Nintendo last year, is that they hardly had any games to show but Zelda.
Nintendo, you fools.
I
You
know.
fools.
I
I
was,
love you.
yeah. I love Nintendo as much as I do, but it was pretty sad that I was looking forward to Sony's E3 last year than I was with Nintendo's. I mean,
Yeah.
something ain't right there. But I'm hoping for more of a stronger launch game lineup. But if that's all that they're gonna have, then I guess hopefully Zelda will help it out. Hold over. And I don't know how long Zelda is going to be. Um, did they ever say how many hours Zelda will
I
be?
think they mentioned something like hundreds because it's such a wide world.
Yeah.
But it's up to the player to decide how long the game is, really.
Yeah, okay, so about any other average open world game then.
Hmm.
Um, alright. So, the last thing to talk about here is the upcoming games. Like you said, you had 80 games in development, 55 were pretty much confirmed. Um,
55? Oh god, I didn't know
yeah,
there was that many.
I think there were 55 games that were confirmed for the Switch, but there's like supposed to be a couple more. You know, they're trying to keep under wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I know Project Sonic 2017 will be one of them. Sonic Mania
Yes!
will be coming. Lego
I'm
City.
really happy Mania got confirmed for Switch as well.
Yeah, I'm sure some people will be disappointed because it's not coming to Wii U, but you know the Switch is the next best thing. Might as well just do it for that. Um,
Yeah.
Lego City Undercover will be coming to Switch. Um, that's a good game. For it being a Lego game, that was a really good game. I don't know if you
I
played
hear
it.
Lego games are usually quite good, actually.
Yeah, they actually are. Not the earlier ones, probably like the Star Wars ones were pretty good, but
Mm,
beyond that, they weren't really all too fun until Lego City Undercover came. That game was phenomenal. I loved it. I will probably pick that game up again.
nice.
Yeah, Jurassic World, Lego Jurassic World was pretty fun as well. But you know, if you ever get a chance to, I would suggest picking up Undercover. That was a great game.
I'll keep it in
Um,
mind.
yeah. What else did they confirm? Steep, Ubisoft's Steep will be coming. Um,
Hmm.
I'm surprised they're not bringing Watch Dogs 2.
Maybe they just can't be bothered.
Probably. I don't know. Because Watch Dogs 2 was a lot better than the first one. I kind of thought they would give it a shot. Um, for some odd reason, they're bringing back Rayman Legends for the Switch.
I'm not, you know. I wish they brought. Isn't Origins that came after Legends? I'd imagine they.
Origins was the first one. Legends was the
Oh right.
sequel. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. That they bring back Legends.
yeah. I don't know.
Though-
I think my thing is that it's been so long. I hope they don't like charge full price for it because it's such an old game now.
Mm, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but it's been so long. I kind of expected it probably been like a sequel. You know, it's been that long that's how surprised I am to see Rayman Legends make a comeback for Switch. Um,
Mm.
I just did not expect that. Um, But I guess I was watching a video about Rayman Legends though about coming to Switch. He's saying that they're adding some new stuff that's only able to work with the Switch. So I guess
Oh,
if
that's
they're
good.
yeah, so I guess if they're adding some new stuff to it, I guess that's a reason. But I don't know. I expected a new Rayman game, but uh, what else though?
Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter's coming. Is it 5 or is it a new one?
Street Fighter 2 Ultra.
Uh, really the second one?
Yeah, it's really
What?
the second
Oh
one.
my
Again.
god. God.
God.
I was hearing rumors. Well, since they didn't show it off in the presentation, I'm gonna guess this rumor was false. But I thought Resident Evil 7 was gonna be coming to the Switch.
Haven't heard anything about it.
No, I haven't heard anything either. Cause they mentioned something about like a virtual reality for it too, but they didn't even talk about virtual reality for the Switch. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think Resident Evil 7 will be coming to the Switch. It would be cool if it was,
Hmm, for
but
sure.
yeah, but sadly, so far no word about it. Um, Fatal Frame, I'm kind of hoping they will bring that Fatal Frame from the Wii U. Hopefully they could port that to the Switch.
That
Cause
would
I
be
would,
cool.
yeah, I never got the chance to play that Fatal Frame. I love the Fatal Frame series, and see it port over to the Switch. That'd be kind of cool since not a lot of people were able to play the Wii U version.
Hmm.
That'd be kind of cool. One thing that I did have a nitpick with is this is just me. I'm not trying to be pervy or anything, but I kind of hope Nintendo can start laying low a little bit with the censorship of games. Because that was a big thing with Fatal Frame, because they really censored the hell out of Fatal Frame for the Western release.
I mean, we're getting the Binding of Isaac on our Nintendo consoles now. I think they're gonna lax up just a bit.
Yeah, but still, I want to see boobs. No, I was kidding.
God damn it.
Damn it, hold on.
God.
But
Speaking of
yeah,
Nintendo listening up. do you think, since Spike Chunsoft is one of the people backing the Switch, how likely do you think a new Danganronpa V3 port to the Switch would be?
Mm.
I mean, I don't think it's
Danganronpa
that likely, but
Danganronpa was always a PlayStation though, wasn't it?
it has always been.
Yeah. But then again, we had the Project Diva Hatsune Miku series was always big for the PlayStation, but we did have a 3DS version of that as
Hmm.
well.
Project
So
Mirai.
yeah, so I can see Danganronpa doing that. They even had a composer for the Danganronpa series do music for Smash Brothers.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Masafumi? Takada, yeah.
Uh, I can't think of the back of my head. That was probably it. Um, I could see it being possible. I can't really say that I feel comfortable with it because I see Danganronpa as more of a PlayStation series.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, but I mean either way, I'm gonna get on PS4 anyways. But
So, getting my Vita version.
but it's possible. There was shoot was it Xseed X
Yeah,
Mar Mar
Exceed
Mar
was there, I
Mar
think.
Marvelous. Marvelous was one of the third-party developers for the Switch, and they're popular for the Summer Congress series.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
had that on 3DS.
yeah. People are hoping that maybe they'll have SFL Versus on the Switch, and that game had a lot of uh, what's the proper word for it? Physics.
Oh,
Very,
oh
very
dear.
interesting physics, and they actually add a lot of interesting features. I will just mention that. Um,
Yikes.
yeah. Let's just say you could be able to slap the girls and they'll like it.
Oh,
Yeah. But some people are hoping maybe they'll bring some of those onto the Switch. Will be pretty cool. It's probably something you don't want to play outside your house, but it will be pretty
it's something
cool.
you want to take off the TV and into your room.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, oh god damn. I was so pissed off to hear about this, but you know that Skyrim that's coming to Switch?
Hmm.
It's not the remastered version, it's the original.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. I'm like, I can understand it could be because of hardware limitations, but I'm very surprised that they're not bringing the remastered version of it. Even if they had to downgrade the version a little bit, it would
Mm,
have been still cool to have that and not just slap in the original. Because that kind of worries me about some stuff about like the DLC for it and stuff.
hmm. It might just be, they didn't know the Switch hardware well enough. So perhaps later on there'll be like a free DLC to have it the remastered version. Maybe not free, but
Hmm.
cheapish DLC to upgrade to the remastered version.
I hope so. I hope so. And I do like to see Bethesda do more stuff with the Switch. It'd be kind of cool to see
That
them.
was rad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be rad.
I mean, can you expect Doom on
Holy
Switch?
shit. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Like that would be so fucking exciting. That and probably Fallout 4 or maybe Fallout 5 since they're already making that apparently. Um, uh, but I think it would be cool to see Doom, make it over to the Switch. And I know that game is huge. It's huge on the PS4. Like, can you guess how many gigabytes it uses up on the PS4?
Part of me wants to say 144.
Not that big.
Okay. 57.
A little higher. It uses up almost over 60 gigabytes.
Nice.
Yeah, and knowing that the Nintendo Switch can only handle 32 gigabytes of digital storage,
That's a big yikes.
yeah. So that's why I don't see Doom making it, but it's possible, but
I
that
mean,
does
the
that
game cards that the Switch uses
yeah.
probably hold quite a lot of data in themselves.
Yeah, I think I heard somewhere saying that the cartridges can be able to hold up more than what a Blu-ray disc does.
Wow,
Yeah.
useful. Think of all the games we could stuff into them.
Oh boy, think of the Smash Brothers we could stuff in that.
Oh yeah.
But not to get your hopes up, Sakurai did say Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS will be his last ones. Hopefully he will be able to take that back and port over the Wii U to the Switch or make one more for the Switch, but I don't know
I don't
most.
expect him to make another. I would hope there's a port because that would take less work, as far as I know.
Yeah, and plus Smash Wii U was, I think, is the best Smash since Melee.
Yeah.
I loved Brawl for what it was because I'm also a casual gamer. But I could say I'm a hardcore gamer, but at the same time, I can enjoy the casual side as well, which is why I didn't wasn't too bothered with Brawl.
Hmm.
But Smash Bros. Wii U was probably the best Smash made because of the characters, the roster, the stages, and we had like what 5 guest characters in it. We had Sonic, Pac-Man, Ryu,
Mega Man,
Mega Man, Bayonetta. So yeah,
Cloud.
Cloud. So 6 guest characters. Damn, that is a
Man.
lot.
Yeah.
Come on, Sakurai, you said 2 was enough. He adds like 4 more. Oh boy.
Darn Sakurai.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't confirm like a port for Smash. I hope they do. That would be
Mm.
cool. Um, what else? Is there any games you can think of that should be coming up?
I know Shin Megami Tensei was
Yes,
teased.
yeah. Shin Megami
Um.
Tensei was teased in it, that's for sure. And No More Heroes 3. I
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
that.
translator. The translator.
He was so, I don't know what the hell that translator was going through.
Poor lad.
It's like he had a gun pointed in his head. It's like you better translate this motherfucker or you're gonna get shot.
Oh my god, Suda51 was so excited to talk, and the translator was like, hello, I am Suda51, and I am here to talk about my game. And then he's like, and then Suda51 was like, Yesha! And he was like, hooray!
uh, oh, and don't get me started with that EA dude there. He
I
looked.
zoned out.
I zoned out too. He looked like he was so thrilled to be there, sarcastically.
Yeah. Wasn't
It's
it
like,
Bill translating him?
yes, Bill China was
Bill,
translating the dude. Yes,
Bill looked like he wanted to die.
he did. Oh my god, did you see the live reaction on Nintendo World where you know that people gather in Nintendo World in New York City and they watch the live
Yeah,
stream live? When
I
EA
did.
popped up, people booed.
Ah,
Everyone there
oh
booed.
my god.
Oh my
Man,
god. I know, and the only thing the EA showed off was FIFA. I know that FIFA has its fan base, but for us being Nintendo fans, we do not give a fuck
I
at
think
all.
FIFA sells like the least on Nintendo consoles.
I think so too. I mean, I was even talking to a friend during the live stream. I'm like, give me Dead Space or get the fuck out. Because Dead Space is the only EA game I care about. I know that also has Mass Effect and Plants vs Zombies. Plants vs Zombies would be kind of cool to see for the Switch, but
Hmm.
I only care about Dead Space for EA. If they don't bring that, I don't care what you have to say. Just get
Could
out
you
of the
say
stage.
they're dead to you?
Yeah, they're dead to me. Get out of the stage. Show me more Mario.
Same.
Oh
Oh,
my
I wish
god.
they had a playable demo of Mario up. That was a shame.
Yeah, that was a shame, but if it's not ready to show off yet, then it's not ready to show off yet. Hold on one second, gotta refresh this.
There was also a Fire Emblem Warriors teased, if I remember correctly.
Um, Warriors, what's it called?
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fire. Oh yeah, yes, Fire Emblem was teased for that.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Exciting.
oh, I do know that I think Scott Cawthon did mention probably the Switch. This depends. I don't know what's going on. But I know that Five Nights at Freddy's are gonna be having console remakes, and I think the
Oh, right.
Switch, yeah, the Switch will probably be one of them. He said probably the Wii U, unless the Switch convinces him. But with the Switch coming out the way it is and stuff, and how the Wii U is gonna die, like as soon as the Switches come out,
The Wii's
um,
already being recalled, I think,
the Wii
in
U
some
is.
countries.
What
Yeah, the
wasn't
Wii U.
wasn't that just a rumor? I thought that was confirmed thing.
It's being pulled out of shops over here.
Oh boy, that's not good. Yeah, I think Five Nights at Freddy's will be another indie game coming out for the Switch. Um, which would be pretty cool. And he says it's gonna be a full-on remake, so it's gonna be different from what you see, what's
Oh,
already
nice.
made. Yeah,
Mm.
it's gonna be like all 3D modeled stuff, I'm pretty sure, and all that. So I still wonder how that's gonna play out, but
We'll play it by ear, I guess.
yeah. So that I'm trying to think of some others. Metroid, I talked about Metroid, Mother 3. Um,
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
how about this instead? Ah!
A classic.
Oh
God.
man, that was fun. I love that moment. Um, uh,
Sink.
I can't think of anything else at the moment. Is there something you want to see for the Switch? Become possible? Either be a port or a brand new game.
God, during the Treehouse stream, I remember so many people screaming, "Give us Pokemon Stars! Where's Pokemon Stars?" It's like,
Where's
don't know if I really want to see it, but
Pokemon Stars? I never heard of that one.
um, it's like the third game to go with Sun and Moon Stars.
Oh, so another 3DS title.
Yeah,
Okay.
but for the Switch, like in
Oh, for the
HD
Switch.
Pokemon.
Oh. Now, the only Pokemon I want to see is the return of the Shadow Pokemon series. Like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD.
Give us Pokemon Ranger, please.
Have you played Coliseum or XD though?
I haven't because I've never had a GameCube.
Oh, well, I will tell you this. I preferred Coliseum and XD over the handheld series.
Nice.
Yeah, for two reasons. One, it was pretty heavy story driven, like heavily story driven, and it was actually kind of dark too for what it was. I mean, you
I
had
mean,
these.
recent.
I
You
mean, you
first.
had. Oh, okay. Like you had Pokemon being turned into these machines and attack people.
Yikes.
And yeah, and there's also a moment in the Pokemon Coliseum you had this big old buff Hulk guy. He punches one of the trainers like till he's knocked out.
Holy
I
shit.
know, like you see a human punching another person, knocking them the fuck out. Like I've never seen that happen on a Pokemon series ever.
Mm.
Other than Black and White, I think Black and White they had like the rival team like beating up a Pokemon or something.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
in Sun and Moon, like, slight spoiler alert, it deals with child abuse,
Oh.
which was. Yeah,
What the
that
what
that gave me huge yikes. So
what
it's got
they
kind
do
of dark.
that they do that all the time with the Pokédexes though. Have you read the Pokédexes and what they do to
Yes,
children?
but it's if you have. I mean, yeah, that's one kind of child abuse, but like parent abusing child.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, big yikes, Scoob! Big yikes!
big one. Don't bring Scooby to
Megazoinks!
this. Oh boy. But yeah, the GameCube Pokemon games, they were really good. They were pretty dark. They really gave me a Final Fantasy vibe a little bit for what they were.
Right.
Yeah, so it would be cool to see them continue that on. Even though XD kind of ended it, but
I mean, maybe with like a different. Maybe not with Shadow Pokemon, maybe with something else.
or
Would
something
be quite.
similar to it.
Yeah, something like a
Yeah,
similar concept. Yeah,
yeah.
that would
It,
be
it, it
pretty.
was it was just a good fresh take of breath air because it took you away from the regular journey to get your gym badges and fight off an evil team. This one just took you on in like a whole different adventure, like you're saving the world kind of adventure. You know,
Nice.
it was a really good series. I loved it so much. Um, that would be cool to see back for the Switch though. That's why I was hoping Pokken was going to be until they
Oh
that
yeah.
was before that they announced that though. But
Hmm.
or no, oh, hold on, no, because yeah, Game Freak did say that they're still making some Pokemon game for the console, huh?
Nice.
Did they? Yeah, Game Freak. Yeah,
Well, that's good. That
yeah.
gives us
So
hope.
yeah, I guess we could just hope. Um, shoot. What else?
That's the only ones I can think of, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
done.
yeah. That's all I can think of too. I know the if Bethesda's gonna be a partner for the Switch, it's possible they could bring in the Evil Within
Oh boy.
on the Switch too. That's a good game. And I think they're making a sequel to that, so they could bring the sequel to the Switch. Um, Yeah, that's all I can think of on the top of my head. So
I think that's kind of us done.
yeah. All right. So last thoughts. So you got anything else you want to talk about we didn't talk about here?
I'm just really excited, my dude. I cannot wait for the launch.
Yeah,
It's just,
March
it's gonna be
3rd.
good.
Yeah, that is sooner than I expected. I thought it was going to be midway through March or maybe like
I was
towards the
expecting
end.
like the 27th or something.
Yeah, because when the Wii U launched, it was November
Now I
something. It
need to
was like
search this.
shoot. I just watched the Wii U presentation too, and I already forgot.
18th of November 2012.
That was the 18th of November. That's right.
Oh no, it was introduced 18th and released on the 30th of November. Wait. No, North America
Oh,
had it the 18th and Europe
yes.
and Australia had it 30th. There
Yeah,
we
okay,
go.
so that was one difference is that the Wii U released on different time forms, but the Switch is
Mhm.
going to be released all together at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Oh
really going to
yeah.
help. That's going to
Yeah.
help count up, count out how many Switches are going to be sold, from the
hmm
first week to beyond. So, and I know pre-orders are already sold out everywhere. Uh,
Oh, you know what we forgot to mention?
huh.
The games aren't region locked.
Yes, that was a big deal. The region locking on games, a lot of people had issues with that. I'm
hmm
happy to see that they're finally letting that go. I know that Iwata said something about that before he passed away, thinking about letting go Reason Locks or something about that.
hmm
So it's good that they continued on with that and decided to let the whole thing go.
I'm so glad, honestly.
Yeah,
It's big relief, my guy.
it is. It is. Even though I can't read Japanese or whatever, it's still a good thing. I'm not really big for imports because I do feel most of the time when I do try to get into imports, that game it gets confirmed to come to West, already. So I'm like, I'll just
uh,
wait a little longer.
Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, before I do end this discussion, I do want to go ahead and talk briefly about something kind of sensitive to us. But
Okay.
I do hope this could be a good sign and actually a good way to go on the behalf of Iwata. Because okay. You
God, fuck. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. Okay, so as I was saying, this is going to be a bit of a sensitive subject between us two, for being Nintendo fans. Um, but I do hope that the Switch, does do a good, successful run, for the behalf of Iwata.
Hmm.
Because I know that the last thing Iwata has said before he passed away to his fans is that he was sorry that E3 disappointed us.
God.
And yeah,
Oh, that was sad.
it
That
was. And
was
then
really sad.
that was the last thing we heard from him. And he said,
hmm
he will promise to do better and hopefully, take us back up from the mistakes. Okay, so as I was saying, this is going to be a bit of a sensitive subject between us two, for being Nintendo fans. Um, but I do hope that the Switch, does do a good, successful run, for the behalf of Iwata.
hmm
Because I know that the last thing Iwata has said before he passed away to his fans is that he was sorry that E3 disappointed us.
God.
And yeah,
Oh, that was sad.
it
That
was. And
was
then
really sad.
that was the last thing we heard from him. And he said,
hmm
he will promise to do better and hopefully, take us back up from the mistakes that happened. So, I really do hope that the Switch can, do exactly what he was hoping for. Because I know he was involved with the Switch before he passed away, right?
He
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
yes.
he was. So, hopefully this time it will succeed, and I, I do wish that he was still here to see, the excitement the Switch is getting.
He'll be
So,
watching on from the afterlife.
yeah.
Something cheesy like that.
That's true. So, it's something I really do hope for. It did suck to see, his latest invention was a total flop, and I just hope the
Hmm.
Switch does a better job.
Well, Nintendo's all about having fun, and the
Yes.
Switch looks really fun.
Yeah, it
So
does. And that
there
that's
you
the
go.
risk. That's the risk I like about Nintendo is that some people will disagree with this, and let those people think what they want because they're gaming spoiled brats, if you ask me. But Nintendo was never about the specs. It never was about the graphics. It was just about taking risks of making enjoyment with the games that come out with it. So,
Hmm.
the Switch is probably a little more powerful than what the Wii U was, and I'm pretty sure it's more underpowered than what the Xbox One and PS4 is. But as long as they make the games enjoyable and they get the support that's needed and the sales to help it succeed, I'm ready for the Switch. I'm ready for a good time with it, and hopefully it will be a console to remember.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm sure it will do great.
I hope so. I mean, I want to let the pre-order it does the selling out pre-orders excite you because I know the first wave of consoles they always sell out. Even the Wii U
Mm.
sold out, like a couple days after it was presented. Um, so it could face the same fate, or it could do a good job this time, and hopefully it will do a good job. Um,
We've got a Mario early on, so it's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And we
And a
got
Zelda
Zelda,
at
Zelda,
release.
yeah, Zelda for release. That will probably not do too much for the people that already have a Wii U, but for those that don't, that's a good reason to
Hmm.
pick up the Switch. And it's about the same. No, it's being released for $300, so it's the exact same price as the Wii U.
Yep.
So there's really no
Wii U
reason.
Basic. So.
Yeah, the Wii U Basic. So there really is no reason to not pick up the Switch. If you don't have a Wii U.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
a good
because
console. It looks really promising.
Yeah, and it's also common sense. Like, why would you pick up another console for the same price that's going to die within the next year or two,
Exactly.
while you could pick up the next best thing that could last a couple years. So it's a good sign.
All best of luck to Nintendo. I'm sure you guys are gonna do great. I'll be really shocked if the Switch doesn't beat the Wii U in terms of sales opening week. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm not worried about it being the other consoles. I just wanted to do a more better job than what the Wii U did.
same,
And
same.
please, for the love of God, Nintendo, please keep a good stock market for this. Do not run out after 5 copies.
Please, please. Oh,
But I think the fact that they said that they were impressed with the reaction of the reveal video, I think that gives them the idea how many consoles they need to make, and
yeah.
get shipped. I think I heard somewhere saying that they're going to be shipping out 2 million units
Holy
for
shit.
for the first wave, 2 million. So hopefully that will be enough to cover the first wave. I'm
Fingers
pretty,
crossed.
yeah, fingers crossed. But if anything, if you're going to pre-order it, it's already too late. You're going to be on a waiting list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same way with the PS4 because when the PS4 launched, I was working a seasonal job at GameStop, which is the American game store. Because I think in other countries it's EA Games or EB Games or whatever.
EB Games in Australia. It's just called Game in Britain.
Oh, really?
Uh,
So is this called
yeah.
Game for you?
Yeah, it's just called Game. Like in
Uh,
full capital letters.
that's a creative name. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure is, buddy.
So, anyways, I was working a seasonal job at my local GameStop when the PS4 launched. It was around Black Friday-ish too. I know that was around there, but the PS4 launched, and I always got questions saying, "Hey, do you got any more PS4s?" And I'm like, "Nope. You have to if you want to get a PS4, you have to talk to the front desk. There's gonna be a waiting list. You're gonna be on
Oh
list
wow.
4, list 5. So that's like you have to wait for the fifth wave, to ship for you to get your PS4, and that's gonna be about like a month and a half wait.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that the Switch, will do okay. Hopefully, it will have a lot of people waiting for it, and
Hmm.
the scalpers can fuck off.
Yeah.
Cause
Throwback to the NES Mini.
yeah, I want that NES Mini, and I still have not got one yet.
That's why you pre-order, like your boy Snow right here.
Well, well, that's the thing, cause there were so many people that did pre-order the NES Mini, and they still never got their copy.
Damn.
Yeah,
Ouch.
So there's some pissed off people out there.
Well, that stings.
But GameStop
Mm.
does that too sometimes. I don't think this applies to every GameStop store, but I know some GameStops will be. They do take a pre-order copy that they have, and they'll actually sell it to a regular customer if they're running low on stock. It's a very fucked
Oh.
up thing that they do, but apparently
Yeah.
it's a thing that they do though. They're a very shady company. I mean, did you also hear about the whole scandal they did with the Metroid Prime trilogy and Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii?
Oh, I haven't heard about this. It sounds
No.
like gossip.
Oh, it's true too, because I tested it out with Metroid Prime trilogy, and I can confirm it's a true thing. Um, so what they did back then was that you know how Metroid Prime trilogy and Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii they were rare for a little bit, you know that, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and then they started re-releasing these regular copies, like regular case copies, uh, of Metroid Prime trilogy, and they are also having re-releases of Xenoblade. So it did help out for those who were looking forward to trying to get a copy of these games. But there
Mhm.
were these were brand new copies, and GameStop were ripping open the packages and selling them as used for about
Oh.
for about $60 to $50.
Oh dear.
And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I went ahead and got Metro Prime Trilogy because I did have the Steelbook version a long time ago, and I sold it because my Wii died, and I didn't think I was going to get another one. Um,
Mm.
so I did get one of those regular copies of Metro Prime Trilogy, and when I got out, I saw a little bit of wrapping paper was still kind of hanging out of the case. And I
Oh.
took a look at the disc and the manual and all that. It was all brand new. Even when you open up the case, it smelled like fresh factory smell. You know that smell that you get when you open up a
Yeah.
brand new case. So
I
it
know
was,
that's
yeah. So that confirmed it right there for me that the whole thing about GameStop was true, and that was really weird.
that's really shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But on the bottom line though, I hope the Switch will have a good amount of copies.
Mhm. Please don't let scalpers win.
That will suck. All right, so that would be the discussion for the Nintendo Switch. Thank you, Sna, for being a part of this.
It's been a pleasure, my guy. It's been a pleasure.
Yep. And for anybody who is curious who Sna is, she is the one that did my current profile picture of my YouTube channel. So thank you very much for doing that.
Mhm.
She also did the brain scratch commentary guys for the thumbnail for Rayman Legends.
Mhm.
So she's a pretty talented person. It's cool to have you
Artsy
here.
fartsy.
Yeah, artsy fartsy. So again, thanks for being on this. I really
No problem.
appreciate it, and it's pretty interesting to hear what you had to say here.
You're welcome, my guy.
All right. So with that said done,
Oh,
guys, thank you for listening. And if you liked the video, well, you know the drill. Until next time, I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.
bye.